Hey, Carly. So this is a totally crazy coincidence, but I just saw you downtown a little while ago, and I have a question for you. Are you poor? Really poor? Or super poor? Nancy? I'm not sure what you mean. When you say you saw me, where and when? You went to the convenience store a block down the road from the hospital, right? Well, yeah, I did. But I'm still kind of confused by your question. I knew it! After I saw you there, I followed you for a little bit. You followed me? That's strange, to say the least. Why would you do that? Oh, you know me. I'm just a curious person. I was surprised to see you around the area, so I wanted to know what you were doing. You could have asked me. But where would the fun be in that? Anyway, you turned the corner, and I couldn't believe what I saw next. And what did you see? I saw you walking into one of the oldest, dumpiest apartment buildings I've ever seen. Like, seriously, you live in a literal dumpster. There was garbage everywhere, broken windows, homeless people laying around outside. It was like something you see in the intro to a crime drama. Wait. Oh, now I know what you're talking about. And just for the record, that is a gross exaggeration of the building's condition. Wait, so I'm right? You do live there? And you don't think it's a literal dumpster? My bad, Carly, my bad. Here I was, thinking you actually had a decent standard of living. Oh, by the way, are you planning to come to me and Matt's wedding? That was a pretty rapid transition in the conversation. But yeah, I'm definitely planning on coming. Matt's my little brother, after all. I wouldn't miss his wedding for the world. Really? Are you sure? Well, okay, but you don't have to force yourself to come, you know. Like, it's not like you have to be there. You can always get the wedding experience by looking at pictures and everything. I'm not really sure what you're getting at, but I really am excited for the wedding. And I'm so happy for the two of you, and I want to see the moment you tie the knot. So you're sure, huh? Yes, Nancy, I'm sure. Is there something wrong with that? I have no idea why you would be subtly suggesting I don't go. Well, you know, it's just, I figured it might make you a little sad is all. Sad? Why would I be sad to see my brother get married? Do I really have to spell it out for you? You're still single. You're way past your prime, so, you know, every day your hopes of marriage get weaker and weaker. Plus, after seeing the kind of house you live in, I was worried you might not have a proper dress. It might be hard for you to be the only one in the room with something you picked up from a thrift shop. It seems to me that you're under a massive misconception. But you don't need to worry about any of that. I am going to your wedding, and I really look forward to it. Okay, if you're sure. You know what? I know the perfect way to make you feel right at home at our wedding. It's all right, Nancy. You don't need to do anything special for me. No, I insist. Consider it an act of kindness from me to my future sister-in-law. All right, if you insist. What did you have in mind? If I told you now, that would ruin all the fun. It'll be a surprise. A surprise? Well, now you've got me curious. Trust me, you are gonna love it. Thanks in advance for coming to the wedding, Carly. I'm looking forward to it even more now. Great. See you then. Hey there, Carly. Did you find your seat all right? It's out in the lobby next to the garbage can. Isn't it great? Don't you feel right at home sitting next to a bunch of trash? I knew this would be the perfect seat for you. Nancy, what is this? I thought this was some sort of mistake or a prank or something, but you're telling me this was intentional? Yep, and it was all my idea. I knew you wouldn't be comfortable sitting in a room with all the doctors, businessmen, and other important people in the chapel. Plus, the director of the hospital that Matt works at is even giving a speech during the reception. I'll bet he pays more taxes in one day than you will in your entire life. And lucky for you, too. Taxes that doctors like Matt pay are the only thing keeping you alive. What in the world are you talking about? You can't fool me, Carly. I saw the crappy apartment you live in. I looked it up, and those are subsidized apartments. No wonder it was so run down and covered with trash. You useless welfare queens do nothing but ruin the country that successful people built for you. I'm a welfare queen? Yeah, that's what they call it when you never work and just live off food stamps and stuff. Seriously, how could you allow yourself to become like this? Your younger brother is a successful doctor, and you're just nothing. If you knew what it was that I do, you wouldn't be saying this. I know exactly what you do. Drink and watch TV while taxpayers foot the bill for your lifestyle. I was thinking about not letting you come at all, honestly. But then I thought that I would do you the kindness of preparing the perfect seat for you. This is your idea of kindness? Fine, if that's what you want, so be it. I'll sit here like you want. Well, at least you're obedient, if nothing else. Looks like you know your place, outside, in the trash, not in here with all the beautiful people. Now, shut your mouth and stay in that seat until someone calls for you to sweep the floor or something. Actually, I do expect to be called upon, but not to sweep the floor. But I'll wait here until that time comes. What's going on, Carly? You're the director of Matt's hospital? Indeed I am. Everyone seemed surprised when I walked in from the lobby to the reception hall, which, considering the circumstances, is pretty understandable. I can't believe it! The MC announced that the next speech would be from the director of Matt's hospital and his sister? At first I thought, oh, okay, 2 speeches in a row or something. But then you walked up to the microphone alone. I will never forget your face while I was walking toward the table. You looked like you'd seen a ghost. You seemed so confused that I thought it would be a good opportunity to tell you the truth about myself. So I explained the day's events. You know, how you had my seat moved into the lobby next to the garbage can. And that wouldn't make sense to the other guests without explaining why, so I told them how you were under the false impression that I was a welfare queen. I was appreciative that you were concerned for my emotional well-being, though. That's why I told everyone you thought I wouldn't fit in with the doctors and other important people. You didn't have to do that in front of everyone! This is bad, Carly. Really bad. Matt is furious with me. Yeah, I could tell he was mad when he announced that the rest of the reception was canceled and sent the guests home. I don't understand. Matt's always so calm and soft-spoken. I've never seen him get so angry before. Well, I'd say it would make anyone mad to hear their own sister get treated so poorly. But that's doubly true for Matt. He's always seen me as his hero. Plus, there's our working relationship to consider. I'm not just his older sister, I'm also his boss. But wait, this doesn't make any sense at all. You're the hospital director, aren't you? Doesn't that mean you make a ton of money? I suppose you could say I'm doing pretty well for myself. Then why are you living in that crappy old apartment building? Let's get something straight, Nancy. You saw me around town and decided to follow me. Then you saw me go into an apartment building and you assumed I must live there. Did you ever think about, I don't know, asking me if I lived there? But you said you did. No, I didn't. I said I went inside. That's all. I did go inside, yes, but I do not live there. Then what were you doing there? It's a little late to be asking me that, don't you think? But if you must know, there was an old woman there who's also somewhat of a patient of mine. She has trouble getting around by herself, so I was just taking her home. But you're the director. You don't actually see patients, do you? At the hospital? Sometimes, yeah. But this was sort of an extracurricular activity. A friend of mine lives in that direction, and I was on my way to see them. Along the way, I saw an elderly woman collapsed on the sidewalk next to the road, so I went up to her to see if she needed help. It looked like she had sprained her ankle. Her apartment was nearby, and I guess she'd fallen down right before she got inside. Her apartment? You mean... Yes, the crappy, run-down, subsidized apartments you saw me going into. I offered to take her to the hospital to have her properly looked at, but she said her son and his family were coming over to visit, so she refused. I asked her if there was anything at all I could do for her, and she said she needed supplies for dinner, so I went and picked up some stuff at the convenience store. That's when you saw me. So you don't actually live there? You were just helping some random old woman? That's right. Oh... So I was wrong about you then. Yeah, I'll say. But I have to say, your domino effect of misconceptions was something else. You assumed I lived there, and then assumed I was poor, and a welfare recipient, and comfortable sitting around garbage. I'm sorry, Carly, but seriously, you should have told me all of that sooner. Like, why didn't you say something the day I saw you? You mean the day you followed me, right? You didn't even give me the opportunity to explain myself. It's hard for me to explain when you just kept jumping from one wrong conclusion to another. And in any case, I didn't feel the need to explain myself to you. I never thought you'd be stupid enough to do what you did at the wedding. I figured I would be able to clear up the misconception sooner or later. I wish you would have chosen sooner. But in any case, you're the hospital director. That's incredible. Like, really, achieving that degree of success in the medical world as a woman? I really, really respect you, Carly. My, oh my, that is a remarkable attitude shift from you. Like I said, I was wrong. But now I know what an awesome person you are. So, do you think you might be able to talk to Matt for me? About what? Tell him that I know the truth about you now. Why can't you do it yourself? Why do you think he won't talk to me? He's furious with me and won't answer any of my calls or texts. Yeah, I'll bet he is. You probably don't know this, but Matt dealt with a lot of bullies back when we were in grade school. One day he came home with a pretty big scratch on his face, and I asked him what happened. He told me one of the boys he thought was his friend did it to him. So the next day at school, I gave that boy a taste of his own medicine, and he never bothered Matt again. Ever since then, Matt has really respected me. I'm the reason he went to med school, too. He wanted to be just like his big sister. I had no idea. Matt never told me he was bullied. It's not exactly something a person would be proud of. But he learned a lot of life lessons due to those experiences. Like, for example, there are some people in this world who are just plain mean-spirited and not worth spending time with. People like you. He hates people like you. I don't know how you managed to fool him up until now, but the cat's out of the bag. Matt and everyone else know what you really are now. You're screwed. Carly, I am so sorry for everything I did and said to you. I was a total idiot. I have no idea what I was thinking. Please believe me, I will never do anything like this ever again. So please talk to Matt for me. Not a chance. Why should I put in a good word for you? You don't deserve my brother. Matt is a hard-working, kind, honest man. And you're just scum. There are better women out there for him than you. And thanks to what you did today, he knows that now. So I suppose I should be thanking you for revealing just how black your heart is. He was really close to being stuck with you for the rest of his life, but not anymore. I'm begging you, Carly, don't talk like that. He's really going to break up with me unless you do something. Oh, is he really? Did he tell you that? Yes, he did. Well, that's the best news I've heard in ages. Hey! Oh, but don't get me wrong. Just because Matt dumps you doesn't mean he'll be off the hook for paying for the wedding. What? Why would I have to pay for it? Because it was your awful behavior that led to it being canceled. You're not going to avoid responsibility for that. But I can't possibly pay for it by myself. Besides, if I get back together with Matt, we can still get married like we planned to. Can't you just give me one more chance? Second chances are for people who deserve them, Nancy, and you don't. We could even poll the room if you wanted. You think there is any single person who attended the wedding today who thinks you deserve a second chance, including your parents? Obviously, my parents would support me. They're my parents. I wouldn't be too sure of that if I were you. Your parents are in the middle of the room apologizing to my parents as we speak. They seem to be just as mad at you as everyone else. Wait, so that's where my parents were? I was looking for them. Now do you see? There's no going back for you. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. I never wanted any of this to happen. You're an adult, Nancy. Start acting like one. You're sad that your life is collapsing from beneath you. I get that. But nothing you're doing right now is going to make any sort of difference. It's good that you regret being an idiot, but now you need to do something more productive than just being sad about your situation. What lessons have you learned today? Think about that for a while. And about Matt, seriously, give up. He is never going to take you back.
Good afternoon, Dr. Johnson. This is Jonah Green. Do you remember me? You took care of my mom after she was injured a few days ago.
Jonah, oh, it's wonderful to hear from you. Yes, I remember you and your lovely family.
I just wanted to thank you again for everything you did for my mom. My mom says she'll never forget your kindness. If you hadn't come along, things could have gone much, much worse for her. She might never have walked again.
You don't need to thank me, Jonah. I was just doing my job. I happened to be a doctor in the right place at the right time, that's all. So tell me, how is your mother doing? Is she feeling any better?
I'd say she's doing as well as she could be, considering the circumstances. I remember you saying you thought it was a sprained ankle, but it turned out to be a fracture.
Oh no, I'm so sorry I missed that.
No, it's completely fine. You had no way of knowing. It was a very slight fracture. I suppose it's probably due to her advanced age. A younger person would have escaped with just a sprain.
Yes, that's very likely.
Oh, and there's one more thing you should know. My mother didn't actually fall down on her own that day. She was kicked by a younger woman.
What?
Quite hard, actually. She has a large bruise on her back where the woman kicked her. When we were about to leave, she told me her back hurt, and that's when I saw the bruise. We took her to the hospital, they did some x-rays, and that's how we found out about the fracture.
That's terrible. And you're sure it was intentional? That's assault.
Yeah, but unfortunately there aren't any cameras at that intersection, so we don't have any evidence. There's nothing we can do about it, I'm afraid.
But why would someone do that? Just up and kick an elderly woman?
I have no idea, but it doesn't seem as though that woman was looking for my mom in particular. From what my mom says, she just looked angry at the world in general. Apparently, the woman came up from behind my mother and shouted, "Get out of my way, you stupid old geezer." The next thing Mom knew, she was down on the ground in pain.
Did she get a good look at the woman's face? Could she identify her if she saw her?
Yeah, Mom said she had a really scary look on her face. I think she'll never forget her. It doesn't seem like there have been any other reports of similar incidents in the area, so I suppose we can just chalk this up as bad luck.
What kind of monster would do something like this? If she did this to your mom, there's no doubt she'll do the same thing again. I'd say you should go to the police, even if you don't think anything will come of it. That sort of person needs to be behind bars where she can't victimize anyone else.
Maybe you're right. The least we can do is make a report and give them a description.
Who knows? Maybe the person is wanted on other charges. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if such a heartless person hadn't committed any other crimes. But really, though, I can't believe something like that would happen in this area.
I know. This is a pretty quiet city. About the only crime that happens around here is traffic offenses.
Well, in any case, you and your mother are more than welcome to come to the hospital whenever you'd like. I'd love to speak to your mom and hear how she's doing.
Thank you so much. Would tomorrow be all right?
Sure, just let me know when you'll be coming down and I'll clear up my schedule. You and your mother take care of yourselves, Jonah. Carly, I am so sorry. Like, really, really sorry. The sorriest I've ever been in my life. So I'm begging you, I am literally on my hands and knees right now. Please lend me some money. That is not happening. There's no possible way I'm going to save you from your own stupidity. Everything that's happening to you right now is your own fault. Seriously, Nancy, I still can't believe it. You were the one who kicked Mrs. Green the other day? She was seriously hurt, you know. What were you thinking? Give me a break. It's not like I went out on the town that day planning on kicking an old woman or anything. It just kinda happened. That doesn't make it any better. You get that, don't you? Why did you do that? Well, she was in my way, that's all. No. Is that really all, Nancy? You kicked an elderly woman so hard that she fractured her ankle just to get her out of the way? I repeat, what is wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. I just got angry. You get angry sometimes too, don't you? I don't assault old women when I get angry. What got you so angry that you decided to assault her? I don't know. She annoyed me, I guess. I I was feeling kind of stressed out about the wedding coming up, so I decided to go out to the convenience store to get some ice cream. I was hungry and wanted to eat as soon as possible, so I was walking pretty fast. But that woman was walking so slow, so I had to slow down. Then I got to thinking, she's really old and her clothes were really shabby. That must mean she's getting a ton of money in welfare. You know, Social Security, Medicare, food stamps, that all adds up. And who has to pay for all of those benefits? Me. I have to go to a job that I hate every single frickin' day just to have almost half of it get stolen by the stupid government, all to pay for the lifestyle of some lazy old woman who's too old to even be a greeter at the supermarket. I thought about all the times my boss had reamed me out and all the overtime I've had to work. Then I thought about how she was probably sitting at home watching some old TV show while I was dealing with all of that. So, well, that's it. I got mad and I kicked her. Well, that was something else. I hate paying taxes just as much as the next person, partially because I pay far more taxes than the next person. But you know what I do when I get mad about taxes? Punch a wall? No. Punch a punching bag? No. Throw something at someone? No. I write my local representative. I vote, that sort of thing. Do you even know who your state and national representative is? I have absolutely no idea. I thought not. There is no excuse for what you did. But I didn't think she'd get hurt. Do you think it would have been okay if she didn't get hurt then? She has a broken ankle. I heard it was just a fracture. That's the same thing, and you're lucky it was just that, by the way. She could have easily been hurt much more seriously. I can't believe that you were the type of person who would do this. Then again, after what you did to me at your wedding, I guess it does make sense. To think you were having a grand old time laughing it up at my expense. It's not even a good joke. Putting my seat in the lobby because you thought I was poor? Lame. You're just a lame person, Nancy. So boring. Look, I said I was sorry. Yeah, because you want money. If I told you no at the hospital yesterday, did you think I was going to tell you yes now that I know what you did? Really, how dare you come to my place of employment to beg me for money? I don't know who else to turn to. Any random passerby would have been more likely to give you money than me. But I'm actually grateful for that incredible lapse of judgment. You just so happened to leave my office at the very moment Jonah and Mrs. Green came by to thank me for helping her. I have the worst luck in the world. I prefer to think of it as Mrs. Green having the best luck in the world. She got one look at your face and instantly remembered it was you who had attacked her. If they had been a few minutes later, then she wouldn't have crossed paths with you, and she likely never would have gotten justice. Yeah, well, thanks to her good luck, now I'm screwed. I can't pay what she's asking me for. I have too many bills to pay already. And you thought I was going to help you with that? Why now? Did you think that a do-gooder like me would help out just anyone who came to me for help? No, that's not it. I just figured, you make a lot of money as a hospital director, and since you're single with no kids and you don't need all of it, plus with me and your brother getting engaged, I thought maybe you'd be willing to cut me a break. Wow, where to even start with that? Yes, I make a lot of money. Yes, I'm single and childless. And no, I don't need all of my money. However, what makes you think I would be willing to spare one single solitary cent on a veritable psychopath like you? And finally, you are not going to marry my brother. He broke up with you. I'm pretty sure he's already taken his ring back from you, right? Well, yeah, but still. I'm still holding out for a chance to get back together with him. I can't give up. Not after how close I got. Yes, you absolutely can give up. He doesn't want you. He hates you. The only option for you right now is to pay what you owe and disappear. And let me be clear. I mean pay what you owe us for the canceled wedding and Miss Green for her pain and suffering. She's still coming to my hospital for physical therapy and we'll be sending you the bill for that too. Weren't you listening to me earlier? I can't pay. I don't have that kind of money. In case you forgot, I thought I was going to marry a rich doctor. I spent all my money. All my savings are gone. What in the world did you spend it all on? Well, the truth is, I was cheated out of all my money. Why am I not surprised? What was it, Nancy? Some get-rich-quick scheme? No, worse. It was someone very close to me. Who? A family member? No, just a friend. A friend? A close friend. A close friend? My boyfriend. Oh my God, you were cheating on my brother? No, it's not what you think. It was never a physical relationship. Never. Almost never. Good grief. And this almost never physically intimate boyfriend cheated you out of your money? That's right. He said he needed money. He told me his mom was in debt and couldn't afford to make her monthly rent payment. So I gave him the money for 1 month, but then he said she needed to have an operation. Really? You fell for the sick mom needs an operation scam? That's almost as bad as people who fell for that deposed Nigerian prince email. Well, excuse me for being kind enough to help someone out who's in need. That doesn't carry much weight coming from you, Grandma Kicker. Shut up, let me finish. I figured, once I married Matt, I would never need any money again, so I took out a bit of a loan to cover the costs for her. And then he disappeared, right? Yeah. But everything was gonna be all right as long as I married Matt, and now he's breaking up with me. My, oh my, every time I think you couldn't possibly get any worse. You were going to steal money from my brother to pay off the debt you took out to give money to the man you were cheating on him with? I am speechless. You must be the dumbest, most immoral person I've ever met. Matt doesn't know yet, does he? It's not like I could tell him. Yeah, heaven forbid you were honest with the man you were going to marry. I'm so glad the wedding got canceled. If he had married you, his life would have been over. He would have spent the rest of his life as an unwitting financier for his own wife's affair. Carly, you don't understand. I am in big trouble. I have bill collectors calling me all day and night. Sometimes they even show up at my house. Yeah, well, that sucks. It's not my problem, though. You still owe us and Mrs. Green money, and you will pay every cent. If that means your life becomes a living hell, then so be it. You deserve a taste of hell after everything you've done. She finally gave up after that and never messaged me again. And since both my brother and Mrs. Green are getting payments from her on time every month, I guess that means she's working off her debts somehow. I was terrified Mrs. Green would never get justice, and I was prepared to cover her medical costs myself. But fortunately, Nancy's greed and stupidity saved me the trouble. I heard she's living in an apartment that's in a far worse condition than Mrs. Green's right now. Hopefully, she'll take this opportunity to change her attitude regarding those less fortunate than her in life.